You think being real is a virtue. You think getting it off your chest makes you feel better. In the streets, that's just called giving your enemy a map to your front door. Machiavelli taught us that a prince should be a great pretender and dissembler. If you show people your true interior, you aren't being authentic, you're being a target. Control isn't just about what you do, it's about what people think you might do. Once you speak a thought, you don't own it anymore. They do. And they will use it to measure your height before they dig the hole. The first secret you must bury under the floorboards is your ultimate goal. In the streets, telling someone your big plan isn't a confession, it's a vulnerability. Machiavelli taught that a prince should always be a great simulator. That means you look like you're playing the same game as everyone else, while you're actually building a whole different empire. The moment you let someone know you plan to be the boss, you've stopped being a teammate and started being a target. People don't want to see you succeed. They want to see you stay right where they can reach you. Ambition is a threat to the status quo. If you're working a job or running a hustle and you start talking about how you're going to own the block or run the company, you've just told your peers that you think you're better than them. They won't be inspired. They'll be insulted. They'll start whispering behind your back, sabotaging your work, and feeding the higher-ups reasons to get rid of you. They'll kill your dream before it even draws its first breath, just so they don't have to feel like losers when you leave them behind. Think about a time you were in a group and you mentioned a big move you were about to make, a new business, a better job, or a massive investment. Suddenly, everyone had an opinion. They told you why it wouldn't work. They brought up your past failures, or they warned you about the risks. They weren't trying to help you. They were trying to pull you back into the bucket with the rest of the crabs. You let them inside your head, and their doubt became your poison. You lost your momentum because you couldn't keep your mouth shut. The method to bypass this is to play the content soldier. Act like you have no vision beyond next week's paycheck. When people talk about their dreams, listen and nod, but never share yours. If they ask what your plan is, tell them you're just trying to get through the day like everyone else. This makes you invisible. While they're busy being loud and making themselves targets for the people at the top, you're quietly gathering the keys to the kingdom. You want your rise to be so sudden and so absolute that by the time people realize you've won, you're already out of their reach. Machiavelli knew that the most successful moves are the ones that no one saw coming. You don't announce the war. You just show up with the victory. Keep your end game in the dark, and let the results be the only thing they ever see. Once your destination is a ghost, you need to make sure the fuel for the journey is invisible too. Your ambition is the map, but your money is the engine. If they can't see where you're going, they shouldn't be able to count the gas in your tank either. The second secret is the exact math of your life. Money isn't just paper. It's the ultimate measure of how much pressure you can take and how much damage you can do. Machiavelli knew that men are quicker to forget the death of their father than the loss of their inheritance. Why? Because money is survival and power. If you show your hand, you're letting everyone know exactly how to bankrupt you or how much it costs to buy your loyalty. In the streets, knowing someone's balance is like knowing their hit points in a game. If they know you're broke, they'll squeeze you because they know you can't afford to walk away. If they know you're loaded, they'll start inventing emergencies or finding ways to tax your success. The moment you flash a stack or complain about a lean month, you've handed out a blueprint of your castle's weakest wall. A prince never lets anyone see the bottom of his chest. You want people to guess, but you never want them to be right. Most people are desperate for a sense of status, so they buy things they don't need to impress people they don't like. They talk about their wins to feel big. That's amateur hour. Every time you brag about a payout, you're inviting a thief, whether that thief is a literal mugger, a jealous friend asking for a loan, or a boss who decides you don't need that raise after all. You've traded your security for a 5-minute ego boost. Think about a time you let it slip, that you had a nice chunk of change saved up. Suddenly, your cousin has a medical bill, your buddy's car broke down, or your partner wants a vacation you didn't plan for. Because you opened your mouth, you've become the community bank. If you say no, you're the villain. If you say yes, you're a sucker. You've created a conflict that didn't need to exist. You're being bled dry not by enemies, but by the people you let look at your bank account. The approach to dodge this is to live a double life. Make your public life look boring, stable, and slightly struggling. If you get a windfall, don't change your shoes, put it in the wall. If you're losing money, don't act desperate. Keep your suit pressed. You want to be the guy who just gets by while you're actually accumulating the kind of capital that buys real freedom. When you move through the world, you should be a financial mystery. If people think you're poorer than you are, they'll leave you alone. If they think you're richer than you are, they'll be afraid to cross you. But the second they know the truth, they own you. Machiavelli's world was built on keeping the treasury hidden, so the enemy never knew if he was facing a starving army or a mercenary force that could fight for a decade. Keep your numbers in your head, your money in the dark, and your lifestyle beneath your means. Power isn't having a gold chain everyone can see. It's having the bankroll to buy the whole jewelry store while you're wearing a plain white tee. Once your money is hidden and your destination is a ghost, you have to secure the most volatile part of your interior, your rage. A man who shows his teeth too early gives his enemy time to find a bigger stick. If they know who you're looking at, they know where to strike first. The third secret you must take to the grave is the list of names written in red in the back of your mind. Machiavelli was clear. A prince who shows his hatred is a fool. Hatred is an emotional leak, and in the game of power, leaks get plugged with lead. If you let it be known that you despise someone, you've just handed them the initiative. You've warned them to start building a defense, or worse, to take you out before you can move on them. True revenge is a dish that's only served when the target thinks you're their best friend. In the streets, beef is loud, but liquidation is quiet. When you walk around telling everyone how much you hate the guy in the next department or the rival across the street, you aren't being out tough, you're being a snitch on yourself. You're giving your target a head start. You're also telling everyone else that you're emotional and easily triggered. Machiavelli noted that men are moved by two things, fear and interest. If they see your hatred, they lose interest in helping you and start fearing what you'll do to them if they ever get on your bad side. Most people use their grudges like a badge of honor. They want the world to know they've been wronged so they can get sympathy. That's a loser's move. When you cry about being done dirty, you look weak. When you threaten the person who did it, you look desperate. You've essentially told your enemy, I am hurting and I am coming for you, which is the exact moment they decide to finish the job while you're still emotional. Think about a situation where someone crossed you. Maybe they stole a client, talked trash behind your back, or skipped out on a debt. Your first instinct is to blow up, tell everyone what a snake they are, and promise they'll get theirs. But what actually happens? That person goes on the offensive. They tell their version of the story first. They turn your friends against you, and they prepare for your attack. You've turned a simple execution into a prolonged, messy war that drains your energy and your reputation. The maneuver to escape this is the smiling assassin. When someone stabs you in the back, you don't scream. You turn around and thank them for the advice. You treat them with more respect than anyone else. You buy them a drink. You make them feel so safe and so superior that they stop looking over their shoulder. You let the grudge sit in the dark, cold and patient, until the perfect moment arrives when they have zero defense. Then when they fall, they'll never even look in your direction, because you were the one person they thought was in their corner. Keep your hate off your face and out of your conversations. If you have to destroy someone, do it like a professional, clean, fast, and without a trace of emotion. Machiavelli knew that a prince shouldn't be hated by the collective, but he should definitely be capable of eliminating the individual. By keeping your grudges secret, you keep your options open and your enemies blind. Once you've buried your anger and your money, you're left with the most dangerous thing of all, your own heart. If your ambition is your map and your money is your fuel, then your doubts are the holes in your armor. If you show a man where you're bleeding, don't be surprised when he sticks his finger in the wound. The fourth secret is the list of things that make you shake at night. In the world Machiavelli lived in, and the one you're walking through now, a prince must always project an image of iron. You might feel like a fraud, you might be scared of failing, or you might have a soft spot for someone who doesn't deserve it. Keep it to yourself. The second you confess a weakness to a friend or a partner, you've handed them the remote control to your life. In the streets, people don't look for your strengths to respect you. They look for your cracks to break you. Machiavelli taught that it's better to be feared than loved, and nothing kills fear faster than seeing a leader second-guess himself. If your team or your rivals see you doubting your own moves, they'll stop following you and start looking for your replacement. Vulnerability isn't brave in the real world. It's an invitation for a takeover. Most people think opening up builds trust. That's a lie told by people who want to leverage you. When you tell someone you're struggling with a vice, maybe you drink too much, you're a sucker for a pretty face, or you're terrified of losing your status, you've just given them a shopping list of ways to manipulate you. They won't help you fix it. They'll wait until they need something from you, and then they'll use that weakness to squeeze you. You think you're bonding. They're just taking notes. Think about a situation where you were feeling overwhelmed and you vented to a colleague or a brother about how you didn't think you could handle the new project. You thought you were just letting off steam. But a week later, that same person is talking to the boss about how stressed you are and how maybe they should take the lead instead. Your confession cost you your position. You tried to be human, and they treated you like prey. The tactic to outrun this is to build a false wall. Since everyone has weaknesses, if you act perfect, people will dig until they find the truth. Instead, give them a fake flaw. Admit to something small and meaningless, like being a perfectionist or liking junk food too much. Let them think that's your only struggle. While they're busy protecting you from your fake weakness, your real demons stay locked in the basement where no one can find them. Never let your face reflect your fear. If you're doubting a move, execute it with the same confidence as if you knew it was a sure thing. If you fail on your feet. Machiavelli knew that fortune favors the bold, and boldness is usually just a very good mask for terror. Keep your internal monologue internal. If you need to pray or cry, do it in a locked room with no windows. When you step outside, you are a statue, unmoved, unbothered, and unbreakable. Once you've armored your heart and silenced your doubts, there's one last trap most people fall into: the itch to be seen as a good person. You think your charity buys you loyalty, but in the real world, it only buys you resentment. If you want to rule, your left hand should never know what your right hand is giving away. The fifth and final secret is your history of kindness. This sounds backwards to the average person, but Machiavelli wasn't writing for the average person. He knew that a prince should appear virtuous, but actually being known for your good deeds makes you look soft and easily manipulated. When you brag about how you helped someone out, you aren't showing strength. You're showing a need for validation. You're telling the world that you can be bought with a thank you or a pat on the back. Worse, you're creating a debt that the other person will eventually hate you for. In the streets, a favor is a heavy weight. If you tell everyone you helped a guy pay his rent or got someone's kid into a better school, you've just publicly humiliated them. You've signaled to everyone that they were weak and you were the savior. Machiavelli warned that men are ungrateful, fickle, and greedy. They will love you as long as you're giving them something, but the moment you stop, or the moment they feel like they owe you too much, they will turn on you just to erase the debt. They'd rather kill the creditor than pay the bill. Most people use their goodness as a social currency. They want to be the nice guy on the block. That's a death sentence. When you're known for being generous, people don't respect you. They line up to bleed you. They'll bring you every sob story and every emergency because they know you have a reputation to maintain. You've built yourself a car out of your own kindness, and now you're trapped doing favors for people who wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire. Think about a situation where you went out of your way to help a friend get a job or move up in the world. You talked about it to everyone because you were proud. But as soon as that friend got settled, they started avoiding you. Why? Because every time they saw your face, they remembered they were beneath you. They started talking trash about you to prove they made it on their own. You lost a friend and gained a rival because you couldn't keep your generosity a secret. Your good deed turned into a target on your chest. The play to beat this is invisible leverage. If you're going to do something good, do it through a third party or leave no paper trail. Let the help arrive like it was an accident or a stroke of luck. If you must do it directly, never mention it again. Don't put it on social media, don't tell your circle, and don't remind the person you helped. By keeping it secret, you keep the power. They might suspect it was you, which keeps them guessing, but they can't resent you for bragging. A secret favor is a silent hook in someone's jaw. They feel the pull, but they don't see the line. Machiavelli knew that it's better to have people wonder if you're a saint than to prove you're a sucker. Keep your charity in the shadows. Let them think you're cold, calculated, and strictly business. That way, when you actually do something kind, it's a shock that commands total loyalty, rather than a habit that invites exploitation. You've spent all this time building a vault. You've buried your dreams, your bankroll, your hits, your fears and your favors. But if you walk around like a total blank wall, people will get nervous. They'll know you're hiding something, and that makes them curious. Curiosity leads to digging, and digging leads to your undoing. To keep the vault locked, you have to give them a porch to sit on. The final piece of the game isn't about what you hide. It's about the garbage you choose to throw away in public. Machiavelli taught that a prince must be a great simulator and dissembler. You don't just stay quiet, you provide a distraction. You give people the truth about things that don't actually matter. If you feed the vultures enough scraps, they'll stop looking for the steak you've got hidden under the table. In the streets, if you don't talk, people think you're a fed or a snake. If you talk too much, you're a fool. The middle ground is being loudly irrelevant. You reveal your opinions on things that have zero stakes. You talk about sports, you complain about the traffic, or you go on a rant about a movie you hated. You give them your energy, your personality, and your time. But you never give them your soul. You want them to walk away saying, "That guy is a straight shooter," while you haven't told them a single thing that could actually hurt you. Think about a situation where you're at a bar or a family barbecue and everyone is getting deep, sharing their truth. If you sit there like a statue, you're the weirdo. Everyone starts wondering what your angle is. You've created a problem by being too private. The tactic to flip this is to confess a fake struggle. Tell them you're stressed because your car needs a new alternator, or you're annoyed at a neighbor's loud dog. Make it sound real. Put some emotion into it. They'll feast on that small, useless information, feeling like they've connected with you. They'll think they know your business, and they'll stop looking for your real secrets. Most people are so hungry for a connection that they'll take any bone you throw them. By revealing these minor truths, you're actually building a shield for your major ones. You're giving them a character to interact with while the real you stays in the shadows, directing the play. Machiavelli knew that the most dangerous man isn't the one who says nothing. It's the one who makes you believe he's told you everything. Reveal your tastes, reveal your hobbies, and reveal your surface-level frustrations. Use them like smoke grenades. As long as the room is full of smoke, nobody can see that you're the only one who knows where the exit is. If you're watching this, you're already tired of being the one who gets played. You're done being the nice guy who finishes last because you gave away your playbook for free. Machiavelli didn't write for the sheep. He wrote for the wolves who realize the world is a chessboard, not a playground. Most people will scroll past this because the truth is too cold for them. They'd rather keep venting and sharing until they have nothing left. But if you've got the stomach to play the long game, you need to see how these tactics apply to the snakes in your office, the fake friends in your circle, and the rivals on your block. The move to make right now is to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Don't let them see you learning these moves. Watch the next video, take your notes in private, and keep your screen tilted away from anyone who's watching. The more you know that they don't, the bigger your edge becomes. Drop a silence in the comments if you've already started burying your first secret today. Let the loudmouths wonder what you're talking about. While they're typing paragraphs, you're already moving in the shadows.